Well, I hope you both wanted twins, because that's what you both got.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Disney twins.
Want to know the exact time of day you're gonna die?
You're getting a Game Station 3000 for Christmas this year. Whoop-de tap dancing do for you.
We have very different ideas of epic.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most iconic twins in Disney movies, TV, and animation. We won't be including any MCU or Star Wars characters, so fan favorites like Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, and Luke and Leia Skywalker will not count. This is also specifically a list for twins, so we won't be spotlighting triplets like Huey, Dewey, and Louie Duck. Before we get started, let us know your favorite pair of Disney twins in the comments below. Number 10. Emira and Edric Blight, The Owl House. These two have to be the embodiment of chaotic good. They're always down for a good time, sometimes to a fault.
Your turn, Luce.
I don't know.
Come on, don't stop the fun.
They often prioritize their fun and mischief over the feelings of others, but they always make up for it in the end. And where they poke fun at others, they're rarely mean. Chaotic good, see?
You showed some real bravery in there, sis.
Yeah, nice work, kiddo.
Amity is definitely not always very keen on having them involved in her affairs, but that is the case with most bands of siblings, especially when they have completely opposite personalities, and when they have the most delightful nicknames for you.
Hey, Mittens! Mom says stop forgetting your lunch.
Can't live with them, can't live without them. Isn't that right, Mittens? Number 9. Sadie Shelton / Sadie Ratliff and Rose Shelton / Rose Ratliff. Big business. When Mrs. Ratliff and Mrs. Shelton both give birth to sets of twin girls on the same day, we can already see the potential for comedy. That alone proved to be too much for the elderly nurse who accidentally swaps a couple of babies around. But then, to complicate things further, a case of the copycats gave both pairs of girls the same first names.
How about Rose and Sadie?
That's Purdy. Sadie and Rose.
The result is two mismatched sets of twins growing up on opposite ends of the socioeconomic spectrum. And of course, they grow up to be reunited with all the hijinks you would expect in this kind of situation.
They're clones. What a cheap trick. It's on, people! I saw that movie!
If you've ever felt bad for getting things mixed up, this movie should give you some perspective.
You fools. They'll never fall for that. They'll see right through her.
Number 8. Alex Nicole Fielding / Artemis Dubert and Cam Elizabeth Barnes / Apollo Dubert, Twitch's franchise. Forget Hogwarts houses, were you an Artemis or an Apollo? Artemis and Apollo being their birth names, of course. At the beginning of the film, they're known as Alex Fielding and Cam Barnes. Based on the popular book series, Twitches sees these two twin sisters separated at birth, managing to find each other again.
Why do you look like me? I don't know, but isn't it cool? No! It's like we're twins!
Oh, and they're witches. You know, Twitches. Their names reference the Olympian twins of Greek myth Artemis, the goddess of the moon, and Apollo, the god of the sun. It's a comparison made even more obvious by the amulets the girls wear.
Written between 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. when I couldn't sleep. When the moon is up.
I always draw first thing in the morning. When the sun rises.
Their personalities drive the point home as well. Artemis is much more reserved, like nighttime might be, while Apollo is bright and outgoing, like the sun.
What are you smiling about? See? I knew something wonderful was gonna happen today.
Number 7. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Alice in Wonderland. The Tweedles are identical brothers dressed in what appears to be schoolboy uniforms.
If you think we're waxworks, you ought to pay, you know. Contrary to what, if you think we're alive, you ought to speak to us.
They definitely sell the whole twin getup, what with the way they move and speak in tandem. Alice runs into them on her chase of the White Rabbit, and the two stop her in her path with songs and stories.
Well, it's been a very nice visit.
Another recitation.
I'm sorry, but
Entitled Father William.
really I'm...
First verse.
In Tim Burton's live-action adaptation, they're known as the Tweedle Boys. Although they don't quite sing in this version, the way they speak is so amusing that even the Red Queen likes having them around.
Is that being... No, it isn't, not a bit, no. I'm sure it was, I believe it's so. No, it ain't so, no how.
I love my fat boys.
Unfortunately, this version doesn't include their delightful honking noises from the original, but we suppose we'll let it slide. Number 6. Liv and Maddie Rooney, Liv and Maddie. Was anyone else convinced Dove Cameron had a twin while watching this? She did different voices and everything.
Take a diva moment.
This is another case of twins being totally opposite from each other. Liv is optimistic, energetic, and definitely the girly girl of the duo.
I'm thinking red carpet, designer gowns. We enter Cirque du Soleil style, spiraling in on silks.
She's into fashion, which isn't hard to tell by her often glammed up appearance, and she also has a knack for acting and singing. Maddie, on the other hand, is the tomboy. She loves basketball, is the wittier of the two, and is overall more grounded than Liv.
How can I hit the castle without my aimer? You know what, Liv? It's fine. You got this. Because if anyone can find a castle, it's a princess.
Interestingly, these two were actually born on opposite sides of midnight, so they technically have different birthdays. Number 5. Donald and Della Duck, DuckTales. If you haven't seen the reboot of DuckTales, there's a good chance you may not even know who Della Duck is, or that Donald had a twin at all.
It took a while, but I finally did it. I rebuilt the Spear of Selene! Best mother ever! Alright, I just gotta start this baby up and I'm on my way home!
Della was largely absent from most of the Duck media in the past, but 2017's version of DuckTales really brings her into her own. She's more adventurous than her brother, and definitely more optimistic. But as it turns out, she shares his temper pretty evenly.
Wasn't enough that Gyro created the most disgusting flavor of gum that somehow gets more flavorful as you chew it, but then he had to use his stupid gold tech to make the engine run. How am I gonna find stinking gold on the stinking moon?
Before Della went missing, she and Donald were very close, and often tagged along on their uncle's adventures together. This makes their reunion more than 10 years later ridiculously emotional.
Just because I missed you doesn't mean I'm not mad at you!
I missed you too, you big dummy!
Go to the next entry, we need a minute. Number 4. Hallie Parker and Annie James, The Parent Trap. If you have a twin out there, there's a good chance you've pretended to be them at least once. Could you fool your friends, your teachers, your parents?
This one's Hallie. I'm positive.
You know, I hope you're right, Dad, because you wouldn't want to send the wrong kid all the way back to England. Would you?
This remake of the 1961 film starring Hayley Mills sees Hallie and Annie trading lives and accents and pulling off an almost undetectable switch.
This is so scary. Honey, you never looked better.
Like most of the twins on this list, the girls are very different in terms of their personalities. They're able to put aside all their differences, though, when they team up to reunite the parents who divorced and separated them as infants.
His and hers kids. No offense, Mom, but this arrangement really sucks.
I agree, it totally sucks.
So what if their dad already has a villainous fiancé? Meredith Blake is no match for the combined twin powers of this duo. Number 3. Sharpay and Ryan Evans, High School Musical franchise. Here's a pair that bopped their way onto our list. Ryan and Sharpay, theater kids through and through, have to be our favorite twin antagonists. How could they not?
Kicking and scratching, grinding out my best.
Anything it takes to climb the ladder of success.
Say what you want about the theatrics, but Sharpay and Ryan know how to put on a performance. Good stories need good villains, right? Well, Ashley Tisdale absolutely nailed it, especially when you consider her other Disney role at the time, sweet, down-to-earth Maddie Fitzpatrick.
You're a great singer, but you're just too nice to play the role of Sharpay. I mean, she has got to be really mean.
I can be mean. Sometimes, when I give sandwiches to the poor, I don't cut up the crust.
Tisdale apparently took her inspiration from Rachel McAdams' consummate mean girl, Regina George. It's an influence that definitely comes through on screen. Sharpay has a Regina-esque knack for intimidation, not to mention a talent for bossing people, especially her brother, around.
Someone's gotta tell her the rules.
Exactly. And what are the rules?
Number 2, Zack and Cody Martin, the Sweet Life franchise. Among the many blonde Disney twins, these two are probably the most well-known.
You have been nothing but... nothing but...
A delight? A bundle of youthful energy whose spirit has breathed life into this stodgy old place?
From running through the Tipton Hotel's lobby to studying at sea, the Martin twins owned our screens and stole our hearts. They're yet another pair of twins who have completely contradicting personalities. Where Cody is smart and high-strung, Zack is laid-back and cool.
Mom doesn't know we got our report cards, so we sneak into Mosby's office, shred them, and no one's the wiser. But I want Mom to see my report card. How do you live with yourself?
This definitely made for a lot of sibling fights, but they always reconciled in the end.
It's okay that you wanted to make money off my cookies, but I just need time to make them just right. And 75% of the profits. 40, 50, done.
They are brothers after all. Through their wild antics, headbutting, and growth spurts, these two more than made their mark on Disney Channel's peak era. They practically defined it. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Jim and Tim Possible, Kim Possible.
You destroyed my communicator? To make some stupid toy?
It's not a toy. It's a silicon phase disruptor, handheld.
Flotsam and Jetsam, The Little Mermaid.
Just imagine you and your prince together forever.
Mia and Tia, Cars franchise.
I'm Mia. I'm Tia. We're like your biggest fans. Good job!
James and Amber, Sophia the First.
Uh-oh. Looks like someone's not gonna be the fairest in the land anymore.
Heather and Heidi Burge, Double Teamed.
We never had any of this stuff at our other school. Yeah, we never had people stare at us like we were aliens, either. We're tall. We're twins. We're new. They'll get over it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Dipper and Mabel Pines, Gravity Falls. Mystery Twins.
Don't call us that.
These two came barreling through the sleepy town of Gravity Falls, Oregon, and right into our hearts, all while battling ghosts, zombies, and triangle-shaped demons.
Extra ball shields, activate!
Activate!
Here's a bit of a spoiler warning if you haven't seen the show, but these two aren't the only lovable pair of twins in the Pines family. Stan and Ford gave us Dipper and Mabel's relationship if things had turned out for the worst.
How's about maybe a thanks for saving you from what appears to be, I don't know, some kind of sci-fi sideburn dimension?
Thank you? You really think I'm gonna thank you after what you did 30 years ago?
What I did? Why, you ungrateful!
They act a little as each other's counterparts, with Dipper and Stanford being pretty similar, and Stanley and Mabel sharing comparable qualities. Luckily, things work out in the end for everyone. Stan and Ford reconnect, and Dipper and Mabel stick together. But just remember,
reality is an illusion, the universe is a hologram. Bye, gold, bye!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.